Generally smaller than their inboard counterparts, outboard marine motors come in a variety of sizes and horsepowers, ranging from single-cylinder models to powerful 8-cylinder configurations. They can run on gas, diesel, or electricity, and they can provide power for a quiet day of fishing or an exhilarating offshore drag race. Outboard motors have an engine on top and a gear case below. This aluminum engine block is the skeleton that houses the cylinders, the heart of the engine's internal combustion system. Under a stream of cutting fluid, machines hone the cylinders to precise dimensions. Minuscule X's are carved into the steel that lines the cylinder walls. Oil will settle into these X's, keeping the walls well lubricated for the piston. Workers assemble each piston manually. First, they build a ridged bearing and insert it into the loop at the end of a connecting rod. Then they fit the rod into a piston head, securing it with a pin. The pistons are placed in the cylinders. Then they lower the engine's crankshaft into place and attach it to the loops at the ends of the connecting rods. The crankshaft's bearings are lubricated and capped off. Then this part of the engine is sealed with an aluminum cover. To get the cover's positioning just right, the first bolt is driven into place manually. A precision torque wrench does the rest. Now the top is screwed on. A magneto system is mounted onto the crankshaft. As it spins, it generates electricity for the engine's electronics and pumps. Meanwhile, on another assembly line, the gear case takes shape. This machine locks the case's forward gear to a shaft that'll turn the motor's propeller. The propeller shaft connects the lower drive shaft. The factory buys these pieces ready-made from a supplier, but still has to refine the dimensions so that everything fits together perfectly. This machine analyzes the shaft. It concludes that this one needs to be a fraction of an inch longer. So workers add the required number of steel discs, called shims. They insert this drive shaft into the gear case, then attach the propeller shaft with the forward gear. Now the gear case is linked to the drive shaft, which connects to the propeller shaft, which turns the propeller. The next piece to go into place is the middle section of the motor, the part in between the engine and the gear case. First, workers attach the gear case, now fitted with a shift rod for switching gears, and an upper drive shaft, which transfers power from the engine to the propeller. Next, the unit gets a coat of paint that's saltwater resistant. When the paint's dry, workers bolt the engine on top of the assembly. The engine is plugged into a master computer which automatically uploads an operating system onto the engine's internal computer. Then using a scanner, they input information about each cylinder. The motor is now fully operational. Workers insert a propeller onto the propeller shaft, then lower the motor into a test tank. This factory tests every motor it produces. They run the engine for about 10 minutes while a computer analyzes the performance data. After drying the engine thoroughly, workers apply the finishing touches, starting with the two-part cover that encases the lower portion of the motor. Then they latch another cover over the engine and stick on decals. Both covers are made of heavy-duty plastic coated in paint that won't fade, even after a lifetime of sun, wind, and water.